It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I want to thank each one of our listeners that have tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the recording on the podcast. I am just so very grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And you are all in for a very special show today, as I have with me an amazing diva that is going to be on my show for the very first time, and her name is Eileen Head, and her and I are going to chat about, are you living your best life? So Eileen, would you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Hello, Joyce. Thank you for having me on. I'm very passionate about mentoring women how to live their best life. I didn't know about this myself until a number of years ago when I started to study more about vibrational energy and the law of attraction and manifesting. I'm a life coach, hypnotherapist, practitioner. I also coach relationships with, I've been called the relationship whisperer. And so I help people to clear their blocks and patterns that are sabotaging them so that they can live their very best life.
Oh, I love it. Wow. You do so much in what you are doing. You wear all kinds of different hats with helping women to live their best life. Oh, how beautiful. And I'm going to ask, has experiences from this always came easy to you to be able to live your best life, or is it the experiences that have helped teach you how to live your best life?
Both. So, no, I haven't always lived my best life. I struggled in a marriage for 35 years and finally knew I needed to leave that marriage, which was very challenging. In my mid-50s, I then needed to start a career, and one of the things that put me on my career path was the Enneagram personalities, which I'm really passionate about. That's on my website, and you can learn more about that. The Enneagram helps you understand who you are, what people value in you, how you can be your best self, and how you can grow and really understand yourself at a deeper level. So that was the start of my path, and then the spiritual path of vibrational energy and studying that and how to work with vibrational energy so that we are able to manifest.
Oh, wow. Oh, that all sounds so incredible. And I love that you have something on how people seeing the value in you and then the spiritual path and your vibrational energy. Oh, wow. There are so many topics here that we can start to talk about. How would you like to lead people into living their best life?
Well, a lot of people are not really aware of vibrational energy. And I'll give you a definition of what that is. It's our emotions create an energy vibration, and we attract similar energy to us. So positive attracts positive, negative attracts negative. So if we are in a negative part of our life, in a victim perspective, I was there for many, many years, I couldn't see my way out of that pattern of just being in the cycle of almost chronic depression, not depression, but unhappiness. Is this all there is? I didn't know that I really had the power to create a different energy and create a different vision for myself until I started studying this.
Wow. Oh, that is incredible. And I so agree with you. Similar energies that we give out, if you're in, yeah. And that is so important.
So people often ask me, you need a high vibration in order to bring in the principles of the law of attraction and manifest. So people say, well, how do I raise my vibration higher? And there's a number of things that help you to do that. Your thoughts, having positive thoughts, the emotions that you have, whether they're joy is the highest one, or whether they're a lower vibration. And when you start setting a mindset of how to see the positive in your life, and not, it's not only about positive energy, but that's the mindset that helps you to start on the path of healing yourself. A lot of us have had trauma in our lives, and that still is in our unconscious. It's in our limiting belief patterns. And those are the things that keep us stuck in that cycle of not raising above in order to bring in a higher vibration.
I'm sure you have seen that so much in the clients you have worked with and in your own personal experience, how trauma, it kind of holds, it's sounding to me, and on my own experiences, it holds you down. You really can be, and what you can enjoy in life when you just focus on that trauma that has happened in your life rather than rising above it. Is this how you kind of see that people get stuck in that trauma?
Yeah, we can really get stuck in our story of what happened to us instead of looking at it from a new perspective of what were the life lessons that I learned through that? What are the benefits? Because for everything, there's an equal amount of the opposite. And so, a lot of people will say, well, the trauma really taught me to be tenacious. It taught me to be strong. As they go through and heal these parts of themselves and release those traumas, the limiting beliefs that are in a cycle in their mind start to be released, and they replace them and reframe them with new thoughts. So, your mind's like a computer. What you type in it, it accepts as fact. So if you tell yourself you're not good enough or you're dumb, your mind believes that. And if you tell yourself, I'm doing my best, I'm getting better at this, I'm learning new things, can you even feel the difference in those words?
Oh, I totally could, as you said them, because the negative starts to bring a person down, like always saying, I always think of worthy comes to mind. Oh, I'm not worthy of that or something. And then immediately when you started saying the positives that I'm doing my best and, like I say, I am worthy of things, changes the whole feel of your body. You can tell the energy that is coming into you is a positive energy versus that negative that's trying to keep you down as the victim in that trauma.
Yeah, it actually changes your DNA. It changes the chemical reaction in your body. I've worked with people who've, they've had some pretty heavy trauma in their life, and as we've gone through and worked through it and healed it, I'm also an energy healer, their life just opens up and the possibilities open up, and, it's opening your mind to new possibilities and new perspective, and when you do that, opportunities start. They've always come to you. You haven't recognized them. And so as you go on this path of a higher vibrational energy, things come to you. I'd like to give you some examples.
Oh, I would love to hear them. That would be excellent.
So I had a house, and it was an older house. And I was told by many, many realtors, I would have developers knocking on my door. They wanted to buy this house, but they only wanted to give me land value. And I said, no, the house it's really decorated nice. I think it's worth more than that. And they said, well, you'll never get more than, and they quoted me the same price everybody did. And so as things, timing was things always come to a head, and it's sort of like sitting at the top of a water slide. When the water comes behind you, it becomes too strong and pushes you through. That's when it's time to go. And I knew I needed to sell my house. So I said to this realtor friend, I'm going to sell my house. And he said, well, what do you want to list it for? And I told him, and he said, ooh, you'll never get that. It's $65,000 over, quote, the land value. You'll never get that. And at the time, it was sort of a repressed market. I sold that house for $45,000 over what they told me in a repressed market in 3 weeks. And then I bought the house I'm currently in, and I could show you on my vision board. The house is almost identical to the tree out front. I wanted a adult community, end unit, walkout basement, and there were a couple other things. And that house popped up in the portal when I was looking to buy it. That's one of the first ways that I manifested, was using vision boards. And then it was September a couple years ago, and a lot of my pickleball friends were going south, and I thought, gee, I'd really like to go away for the winter, but I don't have the finances to do that. I don't have anybody to go with. And a friend called me, and he said, hey, I hear you want to go to Mexico. And I said, I'd love to go to Mexico, but it's, I cannot afford the monthly rates. And he said, you know what? I've got a condo on the beach in Puerto Morelos. I will rent it to you for $100 Canadian per person per week for 2 weeks. How does that sound? I went, wow. And then another friend was going to Mazatlan, and she said, hey, I've rented a condo. Why don't you come down and stay with me for 2 weeks? And I went down there, and I loved it. And I said, I'm going to come back in January and stay here. And everybody said, you'll never get into this complex. It's always fully booked. And I looked around and I said, no, I think I will get a place. And so I did find a place in January. I hadn't booked my end ticket. Then I found one for February, and then March. Spent my last 2 winters on the beach. And part of that story is I then said, I'd like to rent out my house while I'm gone. And my massage therapist said, hey, we're looking for a house to rent for 6 months. We're having one built. Boom. There was another manifestation. And I've done it again for this year with the ideal people. And I can give you many, many more examples of how when you start to be open to the possibilities and you get a verification, things just start rolling in for you.
Wow. Oh, those were just beautiful examples of how you manifested it and how it came true. And before you manifested it, you had no idea how this was going to happen. And the universe heard it, and it all just fell into place.
See, that's the thing. You don't need to know the how. You need to put the principles, that the clarity, create the vision statement, be on the vibrational energy, and then you are aligned with what can come to you, and then magic happens.
Oh, wow. That is total magic. I totally agree with you. That was a magical example that you gave, and so many people can relate to that, because there are a lot of people that want to live somewhere else and during the winter months or for 6 months out of the year maybe. Oh, what a beautiful example. Well, do you have workshops where people can get involved and learn from you on how to do this, bring in those high vibrations and do the manifestation that you have just given us examples about?
Yes, I have a workshop coming up in Canmore, Alberta, September the 23rd. It's a one-day event. I did this workshop last April and got really great testimonials. One gal even closed on a house a couple of weeks afterwards, and some got an ideal job. See, that's the thing. I'm this time in my life, I'm semi-retired, so that's the sort of experience I was looking for. But some people are looking for a better career, bringing in a better job, a deeper connection with a partner, or attracting a life partner. There's many different ways that you can use this manifesting. And if you cannot make the workshop, I do coaching. one-on-one customized coaching, and I can help you to create your dream. A couple small things. You start small. I wanted a picture of poppies, and I had this picture in my mind, and I went into a thrift store. Boom, there it was. And then I wanted a mirrored cabinet for my front entryway, and I'm pulling up to the thrift store another week to drop off stuff, and the lady in front of me is just unloading it. Now, these things happen for me all the time, and it's because of unlocking the power and harnessing the power of knowing how to do this. It's not all just positive thinking.
Yeah, and that's what these workshops will help the clients learn how to do this, how to proceed on the things that they're wanting and needing in life or have desires for in their life, and how to make them happen and become reality. Oh, wow. And now, are all your workshops, is there a way that they can be taken, and with you working one-on-one with clients, is there a way they can do this remotely, or is it all done in person?
No, I do Zoom coaching as well. I do it while I'm in Mexico. I'm very passionate about helping women. I was in that place myself for a lot of years. Is this all there is? Is this how my life's going to be? This isn't what my dreams, what I dreamed about when I was younger. And so I'm very passionate about helping women to expand and everything shifts. When they work on themselves magically, their relationships also work, they become better, however those relationships are, career, family, partner. It's about a life skill that you learn. And people who follow me on Facebook say to me all the time, "Oh, you're so lucky. You lead such a great life." And I say to them, no luck involved. I consciously create my life and my experiences. And since I've learned to do that, I do have great experiences.
Oh, how beautiful. And I know the listeners are going to go, wow, what a beautiful testimony from someone that is living it, and to be able to do that. Oh, that is just beautiful, and that you can do it remotely. You can do it if you're in Canada. There's so many different ways that you are able to do this. And so now, and it kind of comes into play, too, with what are some of the best ways for the listeners to connect with you when they're hearing about these workshops and everything that you can do and help them with? What is the best way to connect with you, Eileen?
You can go to my website, eileenhead.com. That's EILEENHEAD.com. I offer a free call. Like, let's hop on a call and see where you're at and how I can show you how your life can change. I do the personality coaching as well. I want to read you something here that I saw this quote from Barbara Davis, and it just really struck a chord. And it says, "There is a grief worse than death. It is a grief of a life half lived. Not because you don't know what could have been, because you do. You realize too late that it was there for the taking, right there in your hands, and you let it slip away."
Oh,
this is what I want people to know, that they can create a better life, but it does take a vision. It creates clarity. The universe can't bring you, if you're ambivalent about, "I just want help." Well, the universe doesn't know what help is. They need you to be very, very clear on that, all the while releasing limiting beliefs, healing past trauma, raising vibrational energy, whether it's with the words you use or all of that is a program that I have, and I really encourage you. It's not expensive. It's an investment in your life, and many people have really, they were so excited after the workshop, and it was fun hearing all the testimonials, and they're on my website of things that people manifested.
Oh, wow. Oh, how awesome. Oh, that is just incredible. Plus, I am also seeing on your website a free gift. What can you explain a little more about this, about the free gifts that you can offer to clients?
Well, I have two gifts. People can take the personality assessment. When I do a personality reading for you, it is an in-depth reading to tell you, your value, your worth, all the things about you. And when I read my profile, it was like someone knew things about me that I didn't even know about myself. The Enneagram is a personality model that's been around since the 1700s. It's a very sophisticated model that's, taught at Stanford University, and it's a very fast model for self-growth and to really help you to understand yourself at a deeper level. A lot of my coaching includes that, and people are fascinated to learn things about themselves they never understood before. That's one free gift. And then the other is the free call. Like, hop on a free call with me, let me know what's happening for you. Sometimes I can just give you some insights into a situation that's happening that could shift everything for you. And I can tell you what sort of tools I have that can shift your life very, very quickly.
Oh, wow. You offer so much, like this Enneagram, and like on your website, it says, is life changing? And then you offer that free call. Oh, you are definitely living from the heart in helping others in so many ways, because you are giving to others to be able to help to live their best life. Oh, that is incredible, Eileen. I love that. You are really Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. It's a choice to stay where you are, struggling, or it's a choice to reach out and get some new resources. A lot of, when we're young, we go to university to get the right skills and tools to get the career that we want. Well, it's the same in life. Sometimes you need to invest a little bit in order to get a more conscious, a more happy. I want to teach you to thrive. I've learned to thrive, and the experiences and the fun of a very different life than what I used to.
Oh, I love that, learn to thrive. Oh, and how beautiful that is. Wow. And do you use this Enneagram? This really kind of fascinates me because I'm on your website looking at it. And do you use this a lot in your coaching, this Enneagram?
Yes, I do. It is the basis of all my coaching because I've had couples who have broken up that I didn't think there was much chance of ever getting back together, and I've taught them the Enneagram, and it's created different connected relationships, and they understand the wiring of each other. Why is it that, leaving the cupboard doors open for someone drives them crazy, and for the other one, they can't see what the issue is? And it just all these little things, but at a deeper level, how each person feels emotionally loved. That's the most important thing for them. And instead of blaming it's the other person's fault if they'd only do this or they'd only do that, when I do the Enneagram coaching, sometimes it's with should I stay or should I go? A lot of times the issues are resolved.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is just amazing. 'Cause that is, and it's free to the individuals, the actual Enneagram testing, so personality test.
Yeah.
And it is amazing everything that you are pulling out of that. That is incredible. I love that.
Be sure to take it. And I offer a free call afterwards to make sure that you have assessed yourself properly. And then the information is this is a scientific model. So it's very, very specific, and there's just so much you can learn from that yourself.
Oh, wow. Well, I definitely, because I'm fascinated by it. As you can tell, I personally am not familiar with this. So this is something that sounds very interesting and very helpful in your own life to like you said, it pulls out things they didn't even realize about themselves. And what a better way to be able to connect with the higher energies and to help see things inside of yourself that you didn't even realize. So yes, that is absolutely incredible. I love that. That is really neat. So I would definitely recommend our listeners to go to your website and check that out, and then you offer a free call afterwards yet to help kind of discuss what they have found and what their results are from the test.
It's a very empowering thing, because when you're triggered, and we all are from our past experiences, when we're triggered in a situation, you know exactly what triggered you and how to get it. I often say to people, when I'm triggered and I end up in the ditch, I know exactly what it is, and I can get myself up there and out of it much quicker. So it's a very empowering tool. And it's very compassionate without judgment.
Oh, and that's what's so nice, too, because I love it being without judgment, because I feel sometimes with humans we are so fast to judge one another, and this is something you can take and know that there's no judgment with it. It's just something to help better yourself. Oh, wow, that's incredible. Well, Eileen, as I knew this chat would go so quickly, I know there's so much more you have to share about living your best life. I would love to have you back on Robust Lifestyles in the future, where you can share more to our listeners and help them more and just give them tips and tools on how to live their best life. You've given so much already, but I would love to have you back on again to have you share some more at a later time.
I would love that.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, I am thrilled. Well, Eileen, I'm going to ask one more time, please share your website, because I'm on it and I see all the different ways to connect with you. So if someone missed it earlier, please share how they can connect with you to get in contact with your free offerings and with you personally.
EileenHead.com. EileenHead.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. Take there is a better life out there with more possibilities and opportunities, and let's get you started.
Oh, I love that. Oh, thank you so much, Eileen, for being my guest. This has just been incredible. And I want to wish you a very magical day.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you are so welcome. And I want to thank all of our listeners for listening to this amazing show with our incredible diva, Eileen Head. Please share this show with your family and friends. Check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. And remember how Eileen can help you unlocking and harnessing to live that better life that we all so deserve. And remember her free personality tests and her free calls. So check out her website and be sure and connect with her on finding out how to live your best life. And with that, I want to wish each of you a magical day. Remember, be kind to all. Give your animals that great big extra hug and share your love with them, as they deserve it so much. Until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.